Chapter 13. Blue Water, Empty Chairs. The civilian fleet snapped out of FTL like a convoy cut loose from its anchor. The transition hit hard. Bulkheads rang. Loose tools skittered across decks. Klaxons flared across multiple ships, not because anyone had been hit, but because every ship's computer needed a second to remember what the universe looked like. Then the displays stabilized in stages: stars, vectors, formation geometry, and finally a single enormous curve filling half the forward screen. Blue. Not the brown-green of Caprica's old textbook photos. Not the pale, cloud-streaked guess people carried in their heads when they whispered about Earth. This was a world where water had won. On the bridge of the CSL Meridian, the air smelled of warm plastic and recycled breath. People stood too close to their stations because there wasn't room for distance and nobody trusted silence. Captain Henry Vance leaned over the plot, one hand braced on the console. He looked tired in the way of someone who had been tired for months and kept standing anyway. Beside him, Captain Lena Ward wore her headset like a tool she refused to drop. She had left her own ship, the CSL Horizon, in the hands of her first officer and reported here because the fleet needed a coordination spine more than it needed pride. She retained her rank, but in this room she served as Vance's acting XO, running execution and communications while he carried the decisions. Across from them, Administrator Mara Keene stood with a tablet held too tightly. She had the civilian authority codes, the ration authority, and the burden of speaking for a government that had fractured into absence. Keene handled the civilian side, law, distribution, and order. Vance handled operations. Ward made sure both of those things turned into real actions instead of arguments. The comm officer swallowed. Passive receivers are clean. No contacts beyond our own formation. No broadband traffic. No beacons. Nothing. Ward nodded once. Keep it that way. Tight beam only. Keene's eyes didn't leave the tactical plot. Roll call, she said. All ships. I want hull counts, damage, fuel, food, water. Then I want it again. I don't trust numbers on the first pass after a jump like that. Replies came in layered, strained by distance and by the fact that nobody was used to talking without Galactica somewhere in the chain. We have 27 civilian hulls on the net. Negative. 26 confirmed in sight. 1 contact dropped during transition. Could be dead. Could be out of plane. Escort element reports 3 armed ships present and operational. 1 has sustained damage to starboard batteries. 2 Raptors confirmed. Both flyable. Limited spares. Consumables trending down. Water at 70% on the liners, lower on the converted freighters. Food at 58 fleet average. Tylium is the worst. Ward's eyes flicked to Vance. No mention of battlegroup tenders. Vance didn't need the reminder, but he gave her a small nod. Confirmation matters when fear is looking for cracks. The comm officer didn't look up. No tankers. No heavy maintenance. No battlegroup support cluster. That meant something specific, and everyone heard it. Those ships had been held close to Galactica. If they weren't here, then Galactica hadn't come with them. Keene drew a slow breath, as if she could ration air by deciding to put out a conservation posture. Starting now. Water and food are tracked at the ship level and the fleet level. No exceptions. Ward was already typing. I'll route it on tight beam with confirmation loops. No open net. A steady military voice joined the secure channel, the escort commander. Perimeter is clear. No contacts. No emissions. But I need it on record. We are not equipped to fight alone. Ammo is limited. We can screen, delay, and die buying time. That's it. Vance answered without drama. Understood. Hold your ships tight. Keep your fuel. No launches unless you have a target and a reason. Keene added. Crisp. Raptors stay on standby. We do not burn tylium to look busy. A brittle voice cut in from one of the smaller ships, the kind of ship that had never been designed to carry this many bodies. We can't just sit here, the voice said. Every hour we sit is oxygen and water and food. Ward didn't let it turn into a panic chorus on a shared frequency. Identify your ship. A pause, then, Geminan Traveler. Traveler, acknowledged, Ward replied. Your concerns go through your liaison. This channel stays functional. If you talk over it, you get cut off. There was a moment of offended silence, then compliance. Ward didn't soften. Compliance mattered more than feelings. Vance watched the blue world turn slowly on the screen. We need information before we pick a direction. The escort commander hesitated. We could transmit a short burst. Military band. If Galactica is in system. Ward cut in, firm. No broadcast. Not yet. A burst is a flare. We don't throw flares in unknown space. Keen didn't argue. She looked at Vance instead. We hold. Vance nodded once. 12 hours. Passive only. Ward started assigning it like a watch bill. I want cross-ship correlation. Everyone's passive logs feed the same model. If something's periodic, agreement will pull it out. The sensor tech ran filters, careful to keep everything quiet. One major moon. Several smaller bodies. No obvious artificial broadcasts. Star field doesn't match our nav library. Ward's mouth tightened. Meaning we're not in colonial space. Meaning we don't know where we are, the tech corrected. Vance didn't dispute either version. Any anomalies? The sensor tech hesitated, then nodded. There's a faint periodic distortion in the passive spectrum. Low frequency. Could be natural. Could be instrumentation. It's strongest when we point toward the planet's limb, over the ocean region. Keen glanced at Ward. Ocean region. Ward leaned closer. Define distortion. Not interference, the tech said. More like background drift. Like something nudges the noise floor and then lets it settle. Vance held the thought without naming it. Log it. Mark the bearing. Ward snapped the order into place. Nobody chases it. Nobody changes orbit. We watch and we learn. The escort commander exhaled slowly. We can't afford mysteries. Vance's reply was quiet. We can't afford to ignore them either. Ward pushed out the fleet-wide directive, clipped and clear. No one breaks formation without clearance. No active scans. No broadcast transmissions. Keep your profile low, your perimeter tight, and your counts honest. The comm officer relayed it on tight beam with confirmations. Vance kept watching the planet. A world made of water, turning silent beneath them. And somewhere down there, something was bending the background like it had been waiting.